Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, but this one is on tags. I'm really excited to announce that I am joining the design team for Art Stacks. They're a wonderful little Australian company who sell these fabulous collage packs. And this one that I'm using today is designed by Tracy Verdugo. You can find her on Instagram and her handle is at Tracy Verdugo. Fantastic packs. This one is called Love Lives Here, and I absolutely loved these ladies that were on here. So I decided that I would do 3 tags because odd numbers work well. So I'm starting off. These are distress tags. They're one of Tim Holtz's distress tags, and I'm using some Lindy's Magicals, my new favourite, as you know. And starting off using some of the Tea and Crumpets set from Lindy's. I'm just having a quick look at my swatches. This is it's Spill the Tea Teal that I've gone in with first. And then I am using, what is that wonderful green colour? I think that is Lizzie's Cup of Tea Teal through that stencil, which is from Dina Wakley. So I've added quite a lot of water and I'm just pulling it through the stencil. Normally when I stencil, I don't use too much paint or pigment, mostly because you don't want it to bleed. But with this kind of smooshy background, I wasn't really worried about that at all. So I'm just loading my brush up with the pigment that's watered down and pulling it through the stencil. And as you can see, it's created a really nice background. So then here I'm using this Tim Holtz stencil. This is one of my favourites. I've always loved this stencil. I like the little details on it. And here I've used a bit of night. Just add a little bit of stenciling onto that background. Then I'm using a teal blue Stays On ink. And this is one of the stamps designed by Nunika for Funky Fossil. I think, let me have a quick look, that one is called Galactic Musings. And I'm just doing a little bit of text stamping onto there. And then I'm choosing one of these fabulous ladies designed by Tracy. And I'm going to be popping that onto my tag as my focal point. So the colours on the background of the tags, I've taken inspiration from the colours that are kind of used on these ladies, on the designs that Tracy's done. And I've gone for that kind of tealy, greeny, bluey colours because I felt that would work quite well with all of the figures that are on the collage pack. So in these packs, quite often you get a variety of substrates. You get some on cardstock, sometimes you get collage paper, sometimes even transparency that's printed on. Yeah, and they're just fabulous. There's so much inspiration in these packs that I'm super excited to be working with Art Stacks. So that's my first one, and I have sewn, I think I end up sewing around the edge of the tags as well on my sewing machine. So then here I'm using Cheddar from Dina Wakley Media through this Tim Holtz stencil. So I've gone with these stencils, these nice long ones from Tim Holtz, the mark making ones, because they fit really nicely on the size of the tags as well. And I've used orange because there are some pops of orange in these figures and I felt it would work quite nicely. So here I'm just trying to brighten it a little bit by adding a bit of yellow. So this is Lemon from Dina Wakley through the stencil too, so that in some places it's just got a little bit more brightness. And then I've no idea why I did this next bit, but I then decided, I got a bit of paint left over, to smoosh some up that right hand side of the tag. No clue. Don't ask me why I did that, but you know, it's okay, it works. I always find it absolutely fascinating when I'm editing my videos. Like, I'll kind of think, oh, I quite like that now. Oh my goodness, what did I do that for? I just kind of go with the flow when I'm in my creating zone. So this is another stamp from Funky Fossil, and this one is called Dictionary Stain. This one's designed by Olga, and I'm using, let's see, what colour is that? It's like a sort of dark orangey colour. I think it is an orange, but because there is already black pigment on my stamp, it's picking up a little bit of that as well. So it's gone quite grungy, but I'm okay with that. And then on all of these tags, I've also added a little bit of black around the edge just to kind of finish off the look, and I did sew round them on the sewing machine as well. So then I'm just deciding which of the next images I'm going to use on my tag and plumping with this one. I didn't really mind that there were going to be parts of the images hanging off the edge of the tag, so I don't mind that at all. It's like when I create little books, I quite often have bits popping out the sides and the top. I just think it adds to the quirkiness of the creation. So, and really these designs are so lovely, I kind of didn't want to chop into them and make them smaller, so it just worked to kind of use it all and pop it all on the tag. So doing my fussy cutting, as you know, it's not my favourite thing to do, but you know, don't these figures just work so nicely on these tags? So again, I'm using this Tim Holtz stencil. This one's called Dotted, and I'm using Permanent Red Violet Light from Amsterdam Acrylic, popping some stenciling onto that background. So I've gone with a slightly different background stenciling for each of these tags, just to pull out a colour that's in each of these images. And then I'm using my Dotty stamp from Funky Fossil with some, I think that's pink, but again it's picking up the black from the stamp that's already there, just to add some marks onto the background as well. And then again just adding on this final figure, and as you can see there's part of this that's going to be bigger than the space on the tag, but again I'm not particularly worried about that. So then, just to create a little bit more calm around where the figures were going to go, I'm just using a makeup sponge and adding in a little bit of white acrylic paint, just to create almost like a halo of calm around the images. And I do repeat this on all of the tags. And then to finish off, I'm just adding some white splatters as well, because then that just kind of pulls that white area of calm. It just connects it all together, makes it all feel like it belongs and it was intentional, which of course it is. So obviously that needs a really good dry before the next stage happens. And here I think I have already sewn round the tags round the edge a couple of times, just to create a really nice border round there. And now I'm just sticking these figures on using a glue stick. And then you'll notice that I do flip it over in a couple of places where I took the glue right to the edge. I'm just wiping the excess glue off, just so that I don't end up sticking it to anything I don't want it to be stuck to. And repeating the same process with the other figures as well from the Love Lives Here pack. And I do like having these little sort of ends of thread hanging off. So I'm chopping off the excess, but I'm not getting rid of all of the bits of thread. Okay, so then I decided I wanted to add a heart onto each of these tags. And instead of gluing it on, I have just stitched down the side a few times backwards and forwards just to attach the heart to the side of the tag. So that's overlapping as well, and it just helps to balance those tags a little bit. And then just to finish off, I am using some quotes from Tim Holtz from his little sticky labels. I'm popping those onto my tags, and that's it really. So these figures are just so easy to use to create with from the Art Stacks company. Really lovely, kind of complete. You don't really need to do anything else to them. And adding in that background and the quote just sort of finishes those off. And creating on tags is so much fun as well, because it's such a contained little space, and then you can add them into future projects too. So I'll leave a link in the description box to the ArtStacks website, and you can have a look at the fantastic products they've got on there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.